Welcome to the Workamper Show, brought to you by Workamper.com. This podcast helps you discover how to finance your RV travel dreams. Each one of our episodes will introduce you to people who are already living the RV lifestyle or to work camping opportunities all around the U.S. You'll also learn how to hit the road the right way and make the most of every opportunity. Now let's turn over today's show to your host, Greg Gerber.
This week, I'll be talking with a couple who has been work camping for several years while enjoying some rather unusual adventures. They are gold miners and rockhounds, off-grid specialists, and experienced work campers who've traveled throughout much of the United States, as well as Canada and Alaska. Today's episode is sponsored by Workamper News. Much more than just a job listing website. When you put the tools of this professional service into action, you'll find out just how easy it can be to turn your work camping dreams into reality. A Workamper membership opens the door to a one-stop shop for all things work camping. Being the original resource for work camping, you'll find the largest number of job listings, be able to connect with a community of work campers, and view resources compiled by experts who've been enjoying the RV lifestyle for many years. If you're serious about leading a successful and enjoyable work camping lifestyle, then membership is for you. Join today at workamper.com. Embark on new adventures today with the support of Workamper News behind you. Rebel and Wendy Miner are currently working at a KM Resorts property in Washington State, where Wendy handles many office and guest service responsibilities and Rebel puts his extensive maintenance skills to work. Together, they have developed a kind of reputation that allows them to be selective about the jobs they accept. During our conversation, you'll discover why they believe work campers should focus on providing real value to their employers and how reference letters help them reach the point where companies now approach them with job opportunities. We'll also talk about the importance of developing useful skills before hitting the road, why reducing debt can make the work camping lifestyle much easier, and how Rebel and Wendy balance earning money with their real passion for traveling and exploring. The couple offers plenty of practical advice for new and experienced work campers in videos they produce through their platform, Just Go Wilder. To tell us their story, please welcome Rebel and Wendy Miner to the show. Thanks for joining me today, Rebel and Wendy. I really appreciate it. I have never interviewed somebody who describes themselves as a nomadic traveler, gold miners, rock hounding, off-grid specialists, and work camping experts. So this will be fun.
We hope so.
Yeah. How long have you been RVing?
Been in RVing off and on for about 25 years, full-time for about 9 years.
Okay, that's great. And what prompted you to get into this lifestyle?
Initially myself, I can't speak for Wendy, but initially myself is I got tired of the 9 to 5 mundane. You get done with work, you jump on the couch, have a beer, go to bed, and you get up at 5 in the morning and do it all over again.
Yep.
And so I started out wanting to be just a gold miner, and that's it. I wanted to go find gold, and that was going to get me through life. Found out real quick that wasn't the case, and so work camping kind of came in and kind of threw itself in front of me.
Okay. Do you do both work camping and gold mining?
We do both now, exactly.
Okay.
We've got 13 gold claims. We've got 2 crystal claims. And it's more of an investment, if you will, gold mining. With gold prices fluctuating the way they are now, people are really starting to get on board with, hey, can I buy those claims from you? But getting a little bit more lucrative with gold prices the way they are. And we've been doing work camp for a long time, and we're kind of at the top end of where we only work at resorts where we get all hours paid, all our rent, electrical, utilities are paid. But we do a lot more than the normal work camper, if you will.
Okay. What do you do?
So we started out as building campgrounds or remodeling campgrounds when people weren't there. The campground was basically shut down. We've done a lot of work camping where the illegal marijuana farms that popped up in the 80s in California and New Mexico became legal throughout the years. They needed to get these properties not so much as secretive and hidden anymore, but on the grid. And so we go in and we get them hooked up to solar, get the irrigation done, do all the plumbing and get them up and running. And then we go to the next one.
Okay. That's neat. And where are you right now?
We are in Randall, Washington, and could not be happier with this little place right just north of Mount St. Helens.
And it's
We are in an amazing campground right now.
Why is it so amazing?
The people around here are just fantastic. The views we have, Mount St. Helen, Mount Rainier, Mount Adams, and Hood, that we can pretty much see from anywhere we go, and it's absolutely beautiful.
That would be. When I was 20 years old, I took my first solo vacation as an adult and took a train from Wisconsin out to Seattle and just fell in love with Washington State. So I can't imagine how much fun it would be to spend the whole summer there.
We actually got here last February, and we were only planning on staying a season because that's usually what we do. We do a summer season or maybe a winter too, and then we move to the next place because we do more. It's all about the traveling and not so much the work camping, but they had a huge flood here this past winter, and the whole property went under about 12 feet of water. And so we volunteered to stay on. And so we're doing another summer to help remodel and get it back set. But we love the area so much, we're going to do exactly one more summer, and then we're out of here.
The company that we work for is just fantastic as well. So it all fits together, and it made sense to be here.
What kind of jobs do you do for them?
I do mostly in the office. I do registration. I help people get where they need to go as far as the campground goes. I keep a shop kind of stocked in here. We do different events. We plan events for the kids and families, and we'll do different meals, and the list goes on.
Yeah, this is it's actually a resort. So the company has 9 campgrounds across the state. And so they have full kitchen. It's at each campground where they do breakfasts, and we do these giant cinnamon rolls on Sunday. So every weekend there's something going on for the members. So we got to clean the pools. We got to clean all the bathhouses. We've got cabins on the property. And the work camping force, if you will, you would think it's overrun with employees, but nobody knows how to do anything. People just want to show up and, hey, I'm at a campground camp host, and I just posted Instagram. Now I'm leaving.
Oh,
and so we've actually been the only 2 people here as the work campers for almost a year and a half now.
my goodness. That is highly unusual for a resort.
They're struggling to find people that'll come and actually work and stay.
What is the resort name? Maybe we can give them a plug, and others who are of like mind will apply.
Absolutely. Called KM Resorts. It's a family-owned and operated corporation here in Washington, and you could not work for a better family or company.
And you said they have multiple locations. Does that mean that if you work at one and like it, you can go to the other one the next time?
Exactly. So if the work camping and the scheduling all works out, you can actually, this is kind of rare because they're so short-staffed right now, but you could swap and go to a different part of the state and work for a summer and maybe go to a different spot. But the biggest perk is when we get off work on a Monday usually, or Monday or Tuesday, because we do the weekends is the big weekend. But then we can go to the other campgrounds and stay for free at the cabin or campgrounds on the beach and the mountain.
That is a wonderful perk. No wonder you like
benefit.
K&M.
It benefits everybody all the way around. KM Resorts, yes, sir.
Excellent. And what do you like most about the work camping experience?
I like the most because I was diagnosed a long time ago with Asperger's, and so I'm not really good solo around a lot of people. And so my wife just kind of jumps in and kind of helps me out with that part. But on the maintenance side, I tend to be able to work alone most of the day and interact with people as it goes throughout, but I don't have to deal with a lot of crowds and a lot of interactions, if you will. Wendy is the complete opposite because she loves mingling with people.
I absolutely love the socialization. I love meeting new people, but then I also like the repeat people where you can actually build a great rapport with. And that's what I enjoy most is the people.
Are you working full-time or part-time?
Full-time.
Full-time. Wonderful.
Yep.
Yeah, we're heavy duty full-time right now. We usually get about 15 hours a week overtime.
Wow. And you still find time to do gold mining?
And we still find time to do gold mining. There's a time to play and a time to work.
Is there gold in Washington State?
There is actually gold in Washington State. Yes, sir.
I was unaware of that. And so you're taking your time off when you have the time off to go out and sift through some gold fields?
We do. We actually, the last stop we did a couple of months ago, we got over almost 2 grams.
My goodness, that would be lucrative.
That was very lucrative. We made more in that couple of hours than we made here in one day.
Yeah, absolutely. So what kind of perks do you really like to enjoy as work campers? You had mentioned pay for all hours is the one that really trips your trigger. What are some of the others?
The biggest thing is you've got to really work on putting in an honest day wages or getting an honest day for your wages and helping the company move forward. Keep the company at the foremost, and customer service plays in with that because if you make them feel happy, they're going to love the company. But the company is going to treat you better, and in the end game, they're going to give you reference letters, and I cannot harp enough on how important those are. We've got a folder just thick with reference letters. So now we've got to a point in our career of work camping, if you will. We don't have to look for work anymore. They find us. We've got companies all across the company or all across the country that are just, if you get free time, you want to come to Missouri, come please. Because we operate heavy machinery, we do welding, certified electrician, we do plumbing. So the company really doesn't have to outsource anything. There's nothing, we don't have a manager on site. We take care of the part from scratch 24/7.
That is very valuable for a work camper employer. That's for sure. You had mentioned a bunch of tasks earlier. Are you doing a little bit of all of those every day, or do you specialize in them?
Every day is something different. Something's going to break, something's going to fail, pool pump goes out, pool heater quits, a toilet quits, electrical stops. It's just always something. Something's different every day, and I love that part because you never know what you're going to do throughout the day.
That's true. It's hard to be bored in a kind of environment like that.
And plus you get to mingle. So the weekends when the campground's super full and the events are going on, it's almost like you're camping here with them. It's not so much as a job.
Okay. Where have you traveled in your RV?
I don't think there's a spot we haven't went.
You've been up to Alaska?
We have not been up the East Coast. We have not been up the East Coast like New York, Maine. That's one of our bucket lists. We've done Alaska. We've done Canada. I've personally done South America and Mexico. We've been on almost every state except New York, Connecticut, Maine, that little corner right there.
Okay. Have you plans to get up in that area?
We do. It's a bucket list, but we don't like to plan that far out. We just kind of play it by ear because you never know what you're going to be in the mood for when you leave a campground.
That's a good point. So you are finding your jobs relatively quickly, and you can do that because you have such a good reputation among employers that you can say we're going to move in 2 months and be relatively assured of getting a new job?
Yep, absolutely. And matter of fact, when we first started here, we had such a good reputation with this company before we got here, and the agreement was we were going to work 7 months and then we were gone. And about a month into that, one of the owners came to us and said, look, we know y'all like to vacation for 4 or 5 months in the wintertime. What if we give you that and then you come back?
Wow. That's quite a
how we
gift.
kind of ended up here with the flood.
Okay. Have you faced any challenges on the road?
Oh, there's always challenges on it. There's breakdowns. There's just all kinds of headaches when you're on the road. But
There's heaters going out, which make your windows, your defrosters not work. And depending on where we're traveling at that moment, that makes it a little tough.
yeah, that was Bend, Oregon, and it was like 27 below zero, and the heater went out in one of our rigs.
Oh, my.
So we didn't have a defroster, so it was kind of hard traveling on that one.
I can imagine. That would be a little chilly. Yeah. Do you travel with pets?
We do. We've got 2 full-time petsos, and they are amazing. There's challenges with those. One of them is a rescue, and we just got her back in December. And so we're still getting her kind of on board with the campground life. But she's loving it. She's coming aboard. But the other one, you could not ask for a better campground dog.
Is that right? Why?
They've got to have a demeanor of really don't care who's around, because people always, they come up to your camper, hey, we got this going on, we need some help. So you can't have an aggressive dog.
One is a lab mix, and she is just amazing. That's our older girl. And then the rescue is a smorgasbord of a dog.
The dog man.
She's got several things in her.
Labradors are well known for being able to make friends with just about anybody.
Yes, she is amazing.
That's it. Do you have plans on where you're going to go after this position ends?
No, sir. At this point, we're really not even looking that far down the line. It's quite a bit of ways, so
Okay.
we're leaving that up.
Talk about the gold mining for a bit. How do you find a claim, and do you need one in order to go looking for that stuff?
So how the gold claims work, when I first started out, I basically bought a claim off of Craigslist. And I worked that one and realized that was not going to be a pad my savings, if you will, lucrative investment there. So I started looking in, and then the traveling and the exploring. We love to go treasure hunting and find ancient stuff. We've got a overlanding rig that we take out into the mountains, and we like to go off trail, Old Mexico, just get on a gravel road and see how far it goes. But that was our investment, is to find more gold claims. Most of the claims are claimed up if they're any kind of productive and they've got lucrative gold on them. But in order to find new gold, you have to go into places people don't really go a lot. And so there's usually not trails or roads. And so when you cross a desert in the overlanding rig without a trail, it gets pretty time consuming and pretty hard on the vehicle. But we get those. We've got 4 new claims that we've actually staked, and there wasn't a claim there prior. And the rest of them, we've gotten trade deals and stuff like that. And like I said, they're not really lucrative. They are now, but they weren't lucrative back 5-6 years ago. But with gold prices the way they are now, we could sell those or just sit on them longer for a bigger investment.
Many people think of gold mining as going into actual mines with a little hammer and a chisel to find that stuff. And other people think about gold panning, sitting at a stream trying to find their gold. Is that the kind of things you folks are doing?
So the gold hard rock mining, if you will, that's where you actually find a vein in a mountain and you're actually dynamite. That's what people usually associate with gold mines. That is kind of played out because it's really hard to find those. You've got to really go in. All those veins have pretty much been found across the country. Back in the gold rush of 49, the old 49ers, they meticulously covered the mountains back then looking for those gold claims. Now, they still exist. They weren't lucrative back in the 80s, and so they're just basically sitting there as investment properties. Once gold hits $5,000-$6,000 an ounce, they'll open those back up again.
Okay.
But most of the mining we do is placer gold. It's gold that came out of the mountain, got deposited in the river, and then that's where we get it from.
Okay. I've watched a Discovery Channel TV show series on gold mining, and it looks like a lot of work. These guys are moving train cars full of dirt to find just a couple of grams of gold. Is it that hard for you folks?
It's not that hard. What they're doing is the harder you hunt for gold and the more you try to get, the more equipment you've got to bring in. And so therefore you're using more fuel cost and stuff like that. So the more money you're putting into it, the more gold you have to find. And it's like a double-edged sword. And so if you just go in with a sluice box and a pan, yeah, you're not going to find a lot of gold, but you're not putting a lot back into it. And so if we make $200 or $300 a day, it's a lucrative hobby where we're not spending money, we're actually making money.
That is an outstanding way to look at that. Absolutely. Well, you folks had started a channel online called Just Go Wilder. And I was perusing that on Facebook before we were talking. And it is amazing the kind of helpful videos that you guys have produced. How many of them have you done?
We've got, I don't know how many videos we've got. I know we've got probably 300-400 videos, if not more, on TikTok. We've got about 117,000 followers on TikTok. And we just got really good and started on Facebook about 6-8 months ago. And so we're up to about 5,000, 4,500 followers. And we just literally started our YouTube channel. So I don't even think we have 1,000 followers on YouTube.
Are you?
But we do RV upgrades, solar upgrades, how to live off solar, because we don't like to camp in the campgrounds. We like to go up and get off grid and live off solar. And so we build all our own rigs and stuff like that. So there's a lot of that on the channel. There's a lot of exploring. There's stuff where we go out and find old Indian artifacts, Native American villages we found, and rockhound and gold prospects. So we're all over the place as far as a niche goes.
Yeah, absolutely. The videos that I watched that I found very interesting where you were teaching how to make cheesecake pancakes. They looked delicious, and how you were using, pardon me?
I said, that's his favorite.
That just sounds like you need a license to eat those things. They'd be so addicting.
When you go to the doctor, they will take that license away from you, I assure you.
Another one I really liked was how you use cooking oil to protect your axes and the reason for doing that.
Yeah, a lot of people don't realize that when you use an axe and you cover it in grease and WD-40 and stuff like that, then you split your firewood and you cook your burger, it's going to taste just like everything you put on that axe.
Yuck. And my favorite one is how to photograph lightning. You made it look so easy.
A lot of people don't realize that when you're trying to take a photo with your camera, you're limited in time. So if you do a video with all the editing software, you can go back and pull a single frame out of that video of what you want, and there you've got a perfect photo.
See, I always thought you had to sit there and take 1 billion photos in hopes of collecting the one at just the right time. And no, you do a 3-second video and you come up with the right picture. That's just incredible. That's neat.
Practice make perfect.
If you had to start RVing over again, is there anything you'd do differently?
Do it sooner.
Absolutely. Couldn't agree more.
After 25 years, you would have done it sooner. That is really good advice. Yeah. Do you have any advice for people who are considering the RV lifestyle or becoming work campers?
Honestly, I think it's the fact of you can't go in here thinking you're going to get rich. The main goal of, I think, work camping is because you love the life. You love meeting the people, you love traveling and exploring and not being in the same spot months at a time. That's what I think is you have to realize you're not going to get rich. You can't go in here with a ton of debt, and you've got to, I think, be good at living as a minimalist.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh yeah, the minimalist.
You have to look at it too. A lot of people looking from the outside into work camping don't realize that in order to get our finances down, we have to get rid of a lot of the debt and bills and stuff like that. So when you get rid of your mortgage, you get rid of your truck payment, you get rid of an electric bill, water bill, you get rid of all that stuff, suddenly you don't have to make as much money to be one of those guys that brings home 3 figures.
That's a very good point. And I like the fact that you don't have debt, because I've heard from a number of people that when they have that payment for an RV and they're trying to do this full time and work camp at the same time, that can just take a lot of fun out of it.
Absolutely. You want to try to get that done. You don't have to jump in and live in an RV to work camp right out the gate. I would recommend doing a year or two at close by where you've got your residence, everything is set up and stable, get your RV paid for, then jump and run. That way you don't jump into something and 2 weeks into it, and you're like, oh, this was not for me.
Yeah, that is very good advice. How can people connect with you?
You can Google Just Go Wilder. We've been out there long enough that Google's going to send you right to us with YouTube, TikTok, or Facebook. Facebook would be the best. We've got a Facebook group. It's called So You Want to Be a Work Camper, spaced in between all the words. And we're going to start doing videos on there of what to expect as being a work camper, how to fill out a resume, what kind of software you need to be familiar with if you're going to be in the office part, what kind of stuff you need to look for if you're going to be in the maintenance part. A lot of this stuff you can practice at night. There's so many YouTube videos out there, how to fix an RV electrical post, how to fix plumbing. And you can kind of set yourself up instead of just walking in, hey, I've been at Walmart for 12 years and now I want to go out and service all these RV poles.
Okay, that's good advice too. So you just get out there and learn as much as you can before you hit the road.
Absolutely.
Yeah, very cool. We will be sure to link to all those places in the show notes. So thank you very much for talking to me today. I really appreciate it. I love what you're doing, and you're doing such a good job with these videos too. I encourage people to check you out.
We appreciate it, Greg.
Rebel and Wendy Miner offer a great example of how workamping can become much more than simply exchanging a few hours of labor for an RV site. Over the years, they've deliberately developed skills that make them especially valuable to employers. For example, Rebel can tackle electrical, plumbing, welding, heavy-duty, and other maintenance projects. Wendy enjoys working with guests, handling registrations, and helping to create activities that make a campground more enjoyable. One of the biggest lessons from their experience is that reputation matters. Rebel emphasized the importance of giving employers an honest day's work, helping the company succeed, and providing excellent customer service. Those efforts can lead to strong references, and strong references can open doors to better workamping opportunities. Rebel and Wendy tell new workampers they should not expect to get rich from workamping. Instead, they should embrace the lifestyle because their rewards come from traveling, exploring new places, and meeting new people. They suggested that people who are uncertain about workamping should try it close to home for a season or two before committing to full-time travel. That gives them an opportunity to gain experience, reduce expenses, and determine whether the lifestyle is really a good fit. Yet, if Rebel and Wendy had any regrets, it was that they wished they had started workamping sooner. To connect with Rebel and Wendy, search for Just Go Wilder on Facebook, TikTok, and YouTube. They also operate a Facebook group called So You Want to Be a Workamper, where they plan to share practical information about resumes, campground office software, maintenance skills, and other things people need to know before accepting a workamping job. That's all for this week's show. Would you like to be featured in an upcoming episode of The Workamper Show? Then I encourage you to schedule an interview with me at workampershow.com. We'd love to hear about your workamping experiences, how you got started RVing, and what you love and dislike about the RVing lifestyle. You can help others explore all the different ways to live this great lifestyle by sharing your story. If you're an employer of workampers, we invite you to be on the podcast too. Share all the details of your workamping jobs in a future episode. It only costs a little bit of your time. Schedule an interview with me today by going to workampershow.com. You'll find the schedule buttons at the bottom of the homepage. Thanks for listening, and I hope you enjoy one of the last few weeks of the summer of 2026.